Good morning, everyone. So great opportunity. Really glad to see everyone. I'd hoped last time we had the Military Affairs Committee, it would be the only time that we had to do it virtually, and we'd be able to see everyone there in person and have the bagels. But I guess we'll have to at least press for another month here. So for those who were on the last call, I'll just kind of give an update as far as what we're doing from the Marine Corps perspective, either big picture and then kind of come down to Camp Pendleton. And then throughout this morning, I just wanted to kind of say thanks, and I have to be careful I don't miss anyone, but I'll kind of touch on the support and what it's meant for the Marines Camp Pendleton and H&S Battalion and myself personally over the last 2 years. But from a big picture to start with the Marine Corps. So June 30th was the end of the formal restrictions on permanent change of station moves. So we had a revision and guidance right before the 4th of July weekend as far as a modification. We don't want to use the word relaxation of leave and liberty. So what it meant is that Marines, sailors assigned to Camp Pendleton then are now able to take leave, whereas from really end of March until the end of June, it was on a case-by-case basis only for emergencies. So now with a proper plan to safely employ social distancing and proper protective gear, Marines and their families are able to go on leave. So we're seeing a lot headed out during July and then planning through August. Now, how that impacts us long-term, we'll have to see. At the same time, before permanent change of station movements were only on a case-by-case basis. Now that has opened up quite a bit. So we see the summer move cycle has shifted, and now July, August, September, we see a lot of families getting ready to relocate. At the same time, we're getting Marines and sailors and their families coming in from all over the world. For us, we still maintain our restriction of movement or quarantine for those that are coming in from overseas. So we've supported hundreds, I think last count was almost 600 Marines that have spent time in quarantine, not symptomatic, but just coming from Okinawa or other overseas locations, and they transition into the battalion. So a lot of support required for that. But fortunately, overall, for the battalion and for Marines on Camp Pendleton, remained fairly healthy. Low number of COVID positive cases. Of those, they have recovered for the most part. So we're fortunate in that area. For those who come on Camp Pendleton or those who have base access, you'll see almost business as usual with a lot of masks. As before, things were starting to open up. Now they are even more so, still with the same precautions. Naval Hospital, good news, starting last month, they restarted their appointments. So for the active duty community and retirees, they're able to do regular appointments now, again, with proper protective equipment. One thing I wanted to mention, just circling back to last fall and earlier this year with Marine Corps Community Services, for those businesses and members of the Chamber and others that have worked with Marine Corps Community Services, they're full up and running. So they're still working every day to support the Marines and the community. So that means Anthony Cisneros, Scott Pyle, they're there. If there's issues or projects that need to be continued during this time, they're up to speed. For those who come and use the facilities on base, the beach is open, the cottages at Del Mar, golf courses, carry out at the restaurants. So all of that continues. Of course, a lot has transitioned to virtual. So if we look at kind of events like the Marine Corps Community Services transition services and the career fairs, those are now virtual. The next one is our next big one is on July 23rd. They had hoped and pushed it back and hoped to have it in person, but this will be an online form for local or national employers that are seeking military personnel. So just kind of going around the room there, I wanted to kind of thank not only the members of the Oceanside Chamber and Christy and Scott and Josh and the whole team and Bill Burney, But the Military Affairs Committee, and I know we've got, YMCA on this morning, USO, we've got Maggie with Blue Star Families, over the time here, the support that we receive from everyone, whether you're part of a large organization or small, has just meant so much to me. And I said it when I first came into the chamber as an advisor 2 years ago, that so much had changed since the last time I had left Camp Pendleton in early 2000s and then came back, and to see forums like this and just the combination of the support that's provided for the Marine sailors and their families on Camp Pendleton is just amazing. I wanted to talk just, I guess, if anyone's curious. So my transition from the Marine Corps, it kind of a great place for me to be and to wrap up at Camp Pendleton, because I'll be taking advantage or beneficiary of those transition services provided and supported by a lot of you. So with Department of Defense 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, they implemented the Skill Bridge Transition Program. And this is a opportunity for any service active duty member, whether it's a 4-year enlistment or a 20-year career or longer, that you have an opportunity to do an internship or a fellowship during your last 6 months of active duty. So this fall, I will be participating in DoD Skill Bridge, hosted by Marine Corps Community Services, and with a lot of companies from the local area. Then we'll take on fellows. So I'll be a fellow some company this fall and stay in the San Diego area, and then wrap up active duty at the start of 2021. So it's just an example of how Marine Corps and Department of Defense overall is partnering with employers, and not just in San Diego, but this is nationwide. So for myself personally, then I will turn over to the next commanding officer, Colonel Dan Whitley, on the 30th of July, and then he will be the CO for Headquarters Support Battalion for 2 years. Sergeant Major Eric Darmstadt will remain for the next 2 years, so he'll provide some continuity, and you'll see him on the Military Affairs Committee meetings every other month, as well as the event in August for hero recognition with the chamber. The commanding general for Marine Corps Installations West, Brigadier General Dan Connolly, will remain through next year, so we've got some good continuity there. And that is really what I've got. But overall, for Christy and Josh and for the Military Affairs Committee, it's been great for me to be part of this and to get kind of the feedback on how we're doing and issues and concerns. So Josh, I didn't have a lot of content, but that's where we're at wave tops for this morning, and be happy to answer or try to answer any questions that anyone has.
This is Lori. I do have a question. Has the VA been open fully on the base now?
So Lori, my understanding for the VA or for the VA reps that they're still assisting transitioning service women and men, but it's virtually. So they're supporting with their VSOs, but not in person, as far as I know.
Okay, yeah, we're still getting hit because we're still open. So that's why I was just checking. All right, thank you.
It does help if I unmute myself when I start talking. So forgive me. I'm like 6 sips into my first cup of coffee. So anyway, Colonel, thank you very much. I know I've said it a bunch. I'm going to continue to say it. Thank you so much for your time and efforts that you put into the chamber, the board meetings and the MAC meetings. It's been a true pleasure, and Oceanside is lucky to be able to keep you as a resident when you do transition out. So once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, John.
And I want to echo that as well, Colonel. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you, and we appreciate you so much, and all that you've done for the chamber, military affairs, for my military events. I really appreciate your help and your support.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
Likewise, Colonel. Thank you so much for everything.
Oh, hey, Scott. Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. All righty. Well, we are going to move right along. Our guest speaker today, Maggie Meza, is coming from she's the chapter director of the Blue Star Family Staff. She's going to provide some results of their annual military lifestyle survey. So I will turn it over to you, ma'am.
All right, we're just going to do, excuse me, a quick little screen share. I'm going to be advancing the slides for Maggie, so hang tight, guys. All right. And here we go. All right, Maggie.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I'd like to thank Emerald and Christy and Josh and the Chamber for their invitation to brief this survey. For those of you that may not know, the Blue Star Families has been in existence since 2009. And so this was, every year they've had this survey. So this was last year's results. We're, planning to run the next survey in the fall. And surely with COVID and everything that's been happening, I'm sure that the results will be amplified, but probably pretty much the same. So, and on a personal note, Phil, it was such a pleasure, my husband's last year of service before he retired last year, to serve with you and Shannon with MCI West. And I'm glad you're staying here too. So we welcome you to the first Civ Div. So, all right, next slide. Okay, so in 2009, military spouses came together. There were about 6 of them in Beaufort, South Carolina, that wanted to create a solution for military families feeling isolated. As of right now, we have 11 chapters. Those are the large stars on the map. The smaller stars are neighbors, and those are volunteers that carry out our programming where there may not be a close chapter to them. Today, we are committed to strengthening military families by connecting them with their civilian neighbors, both people and organizations. Through our unique partnerships and programming, we empower military families to thrive and bring them a sense of belonging. Next slide. So these are some of the programs and resources we do. Obviously, we've had to pivot to bring most of these virtually. This year, we are starting our first ever summer camp. And that will become virtually for 4 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, it'll start, and that will last for 4 weeks. Next slide. So we know that the ability to understand the military service lifestyle from the perspective of service member, veteran, and their families is very important. Over half of the active duty force is married, and a third have children. Blue Star Families has the largest annually conducted comprehensive survey that provides a snapshot of military and veteran families to help national leaders, community partners, and philanthropic organizations better understand their life issues and develop smart solutions. Our survey is different because it's one of the few surveys that look at issues that are rooted in time during service, transitioning out of service, and carry over into life as a veteran. In 2019, over 11,000 service members, veterans, National Guard, Reserve, and their families took this survey. Just a disclaimer, our results cannot be generalized across the entire military, and it's just a snapshot of the issues of those shared by our respondents. Next slide. So these were the top issues for our active duty military families. This is how respondents felt at that moment that they took the survey. So it was what was happening in that day that they took it. Results continue to eliminate the tension felt by military family respondents as issues related to family stability, quality of life were ranked in their top 5 issues of concern. Next slide. So top stressors. So stressors are what occur over the course of a military career. Financial issues remains a top stressor for military family respondents. 3 of the 5 stressors suggest that issues with financial implications are still a top of mind stressor. And note that isolation that's listed here is not social, it's rather the relationships that they had previously formed and had to move away from. Next slide. Our top issues for National Guard families reflect not only the concerns that active duty families have over the impact of military service on their family, such as time away, impact of deployment, military family stability, and lack of career control, but also the difficulties of transitioning between care systems, access to military VA healthcare, and problems with pay and benefits. Next slide. So for our National Guard and Reserve family concerns, factors that can complicate the challenges faced by National Guard and Reserve families include living far from a military installation, making frequent transitions between military and civilian life, and difficult accessing social support and service providers who are familiar with the military culture. Many respondents live an hour or more from military installation, which is why local resources are important. But nearly half of National Guard and Reserve family respondents believe their local civilian support agencies are not effective in addressing their needs. Half of National Guard families and 43% of Reserve families feel their local civilian community does not have resources designed for military families. Next slide. Over half of active duty military family respondents found local friends the most important or helpful resource during the most recent separation, yet 39% have no friends to talk to, and 35% have no one they know well enough to ask for a favor. Next slide. Although asked differently in 2018, military family respondents continue to feel the general public is not aware of and does not understand the sacrifices and challenges military service places on families. Next slide. 69% of military family respondents live in their local civilian community, but 40% feel they don't belong to it. Military and veteran family respondents who perceive that civilians and their local communities had greater awareness of, appreciation for, understanding, support, and respect for the military families in their community also felt a greater sense of belonging to that community. Service members' high op tempo, unpredictable and long hours, and short notice orders have implications on the whole family's capacity to thrive, which also contributes to military spouse employment concerns. Next slide. Spouse unemployment remains a perennial issue, but the reason for it differ when children are present in the home. For example, spouses with children present in the home most frequently report that service members' day-to-day job demands make it too difficult to balance work and home, whereas spouses without children present most frequently report that they are overqualified for local employment opportunities. Next slide. Spouse underemployment is also a complex and persistent issue. 77% of employed active duty military spouse respondents report at least one circumstance of underdeployment. Many report being impacted by underemployment in more than one way. This issue persists even after military service. 68% of spouses of veterans respondents also report underemployment. Next slide. Veterans perceive more acceptance and accommodation from their local employers than military spouses do. For spouses living overseas, 88% encountered some difficulty in working or finding work. The most commonly cited difficulty was due to limited employment options on installation and in the local area. Military spouses also report a desire for flexible work, flexible scheduling, and remote telework. Financial issues remain a top stressor for military families. 63% of military family respondents experience stress due to their current financial situation. Next slide. Most service member respondents experience stress due to their current financial condition, of which 23% report out-of-pocket childcare costs as a top contributing factor. The lack of childcare impacts both male and female service members' ability to pursue employment or education. Both male and female service members report difficulty in finding an affordable provider. Next slide. Relocation is challenging for families enrolled in Exceptional Family Member Program. Almost half cite relocation as a top stressor. When asked to describe their referral process experience and ability to see a specialist after relocating to a new duty station, They most commonly cite the process taking too long and limited provider specialist availability. Next slide. Military families who have a child with special needs must balance the intersecting challenges that come with lifestyle and those that come with raising a child with special needs. For over a third of military family respondents, caring for children with special needs, finding the right resource in their community and finding childcare that meets their needs is challenging. An Air Force spouse said, "I have a special needs child and my community was not equipped to deal with while I was full-time employed and a single parent while my service member was absent." Next slide. Given the general public's concern with quality education in the US, it's no surprise that last year's military family respondents ranked dependent children's education as a top 5 issue of concern for the 3rd consecutive year. Many respondents are seeking ways to offset the impact of relocation on their children's education by choosing to homeschool or voluntarily live separately from their service member geobadging. Next slide. Schools building a sense of belonging for military families and children. Schools are important for military families. Families with children in K-12 report higher sense of belonging to local community than military families with children not eligible for K-12 education. Most children have positive school experiences, but families want teachers and staff to have an understanding of the impact of frequent moves on my child and improve upon areas that are impacted when relocating to another school. Next slide. Transitioning remains difficult for veterans and has long-term impacts. While there have been improvements in addressing the transition from military to civilian life at the public and private levels, veterans and their families continue to encounter challenges and feel unprepared. Less than half started preparing for transition less than a year before separating. Next slide. Transitioning is harder for female veterans. Female veterans report more difficulty with every aspect of transition, greater financial difficulty, less preparation to navigate resources in their local community, greater social isolation than their male peers. A female Navy veteran said, "Women veterans have different challenges in the civilian community. Many of them go unrecognized in their status as veterans, or if they are married to a male veteran, he gets the recognition and they are ignored. Looking into how the military and civilian community can better identify and support female veterans would be meaningful." Next slide. So support for military leadership. For military family respondents with 10 years of service or less, other than retirement or administrative discharge, the top reasons for leaving military service are concerns about the impact of military service on family, military lifestyle did not allow sufficient time with their family, feeling more valued or able to earn more money in the civilian sector, losing faith in military leadership. Those receiving short notice orders, 2 months or less, after their most recent military move, feel less belonging to the local civilian community than those who received more notice. Next slide. So just as the military must rely on civilian communities to help meet the needs of our military families, mutually supportive relationships can only be fostered if military families actively engage with civilians in their local communities. Next slide. So this is how you can get a hold of me. I have a counterpart, Laura Torres, who is our careers manager. She helps military spouses with their resumes and getting jobs within the San Diego County area. And I will also, throughout this time of COVID, we had other surveys that we conducted, a pain points poll and a RUS, resiliency under stress survey. We dove deep onto the pain points poll, and I will put in chat the link where you can find that information. And on our Blue Star Family, bluestarfam.org website, you can get more of an executive level briefing than of this. This is more, you know, a little brief, right? But you can get the executive level survey results. But thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Does anybody have any questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, ma'am, for that update. I will be sharing that information with the board. So Emerald is going to forward me those slides, and I will pass that information along. At this time, I'd like to check and see if we have any updates from the elected officials that are with us today.
Good morning, Josh. This is Janet Chin. I'm the new district director for Assemblywoman Tasha Bona Horvath. Just in terms of getting to know the military affairs in this amazing community. I just moved in from Los Angeles and was the chief of public affairs for the assessor's office there. So moving into a veteran-friendly community has been extremely enlightening because I'm a U.S. Army vet myself. And now handling military and veterans affairs for the Assemblywoman, I'm hoping that our office will connect with this group and others in the near future. I currently live on Camp Pendleton in Lincoln Housing, so it's been a really fantastic opportunity to really work with military families. So thank you, Maggie, for your presentation, and really appreciate you also being part of our advisory council. On the other hand, on the federal level, I am a appointed civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army. So previously was in the greater LA area. I'm in my 6th year in this position. And so the new title now is Coastal South. So if there's anything related to the Army that you need, please feel free to contact me. And I will put my email and my personal email also in the chat box. Thanks, Jeff.
Excellent, Janet. Thank you very much. Any other elected officials who would like to share an update? Going once, going twice. All right. Anne, the USO, would you like to share anything with us?
Sure. So we closed our center back in March, and we have not been able to reopen because we actually have construction happening around it. But we have been able to do a lot of to-go programming. So we've served over probably 7,000 family members with our to-go bags. So they're all different themes. We do one almost every week. And if we don't do that, we've been doing meals to go. So we've actually been working with some local restaurants in downtown Oceanside to provide, you know, the pizza kits from Fat Joe's and Blade, 1936. And we've worked with Pollo Maria's also and doing taco kits. So we're trying to include the local community and being able to feed our service members and their families. So they really, really love that. But we've been doing mostly to-go stuff. And we've also been trying to hit up on the north side of base. We don't go up there as often as we should. So about every other week, we've been trying to go up there and support our families so they don't have to drive all the way down to Main Side to pick up a family kit. And then Casey and his team has been doing a lot of virtual Pathfinder stuff. So we've been able to remain open with Pathfinder and accept clients and create action plans via, you know, Zoom and Teams and all kinds of virtual opportunities. And we've done a lot of workshops as well, including some local communities as well for different hiring opportunities. So that's kind of in a nutshell, what we've been doing.
Excellent, excellent. KT, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is KT Henderson, and I am the Pathfinder Site Manager here at Camp Pendleton. And just to piggyback off of Boss Lady, again, with Pathfinder, we're still operating in a virtual capacity, providing those virtual opportunities. Today, we're actually hosting a spouse employment workshop in collaboration with Recruit Military. And that's going to focus on best resume practices. And at the same time, we're also going to be discussing telecommuting to include spouses being able to work remotely. So that's just one of the many opportunities that we are, again, when it comes to those virtual events. And then we're going to roll into next week with another virtual workshop, which is truly in high demand. And this is helping those service members in the transition to understand those federal employment opportunities. So we're going to be doing a Q&A session next week. So just like Boss Lady said, we're just hitting the ground, you know, running with these virtual opportunities and providing them not just here on the installation, but just nationwide as well.
Excellent, sir. Thank you for that update. Lori from Vance, you want to give us a quick update?
Yeah, hi everybody. I just want to let you know that I'm really excited for this month of July. I have a donor who's willing to match all donations, brought in cash donations to us. So I'm really excited. So if you ever want to do a little tax receipt, whether it's $25 or whatever you can do, every dollar is going to double for us in the month of July. And I just would like to encourage you to think about helping Vance do our mission, especially with our food distribution. We're now at serving over 8,600 active duty and veterans, and of that, 87% of them have been active duty. So we're real excited about that. But at any point, give it a thought, please. Thanks, everybody.
Excellent, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I hope you got enough peanut butter that last go around. If not, we can get some more dropped off to you. Main Street, you want to get us a quick update?
Good morning. Today is Farmers Market, which that's why I'm dressed up in my yellow vest. Sunset Market, not anytime soon. Thank you, Scott and the Chamber, for reaching out to us and letting us talk with the supervisors to see if we can get our events back up and going, even if they are at a diminished capacity, because we know that a lot of our nonprofit organizations do events and informational things to try to raise money to keep their doors open, that's our big goal right now. We provide a lot back, but other than that, we're still, with a new COVID closed down for 3 weeks, we're trying to work with the different businesses and the Chamber, of course, Scott and Christy, to find some new avenues to keep our businesses going for both restaurant, retail, services. We were really sad, of course, not to have a parade and fireworks and the usual 4th of July, because that's my favorite time of year. But we did find that everybody followed the rules and everybody was good at the beach. Thank you, thank you. Still have some individuals who don't want to wear the mask, but some people like myself, we just keep on talking and reminding them, you know, be safe, don't take it back to your family. So, but we're plugging along, trying to figure out new avenues, and we have a lot of great partners, like I said, the Chamber, and a lot of people that are right here in front of me who reach out. We try to do a what's up email once a week to all our members. So if you have anything at all that you want us to share, please either tag us on social media or send it to me, Kathy at mainstreetoceanside.com, and we'll be glad to share that. Again, retired military myself, so that's why I attend this. I have a lot of military friends, and all the transition and everything that you guys have been doing. They're really excited and very happy with the support that are given to our brothers and sisters there, both active duty, retired, and veterans. So thank you again. That's it.
Excellent, Kathy. Thank you very much. If everybody take a second here in a little bit to look in your chat notes. Samantha from the Armed Services YMCA gave us a quick update there on what she's got going on. And here in a second, I'll open it up to anybody else that wants to give us an update on what they have going on during these crazy times. But Christy, how about we get an update from you real quick on anything happening with the Chamber?
Well, we'll be holding our, I think you mentioned our Heroes of Oceanside and Camp Pendleton virtually, and that will be in August. So we're working on that. We're going to honor and recognize heroes from the fire department, the police, lifeguards, education, of course, the military, and very likely Tri-City Medical Center, those working on the front line during the COVID crisis. So we do have that coming up. You might have heard that at one point in time we had postponed Operation Appreciation because we could not hold it on Armed Forces Day for obvious reasons. However, that event will not go on this year, and we look forward to hosting it on Armed Forces Day 2021, which would be May 15th, if memory serves me right. So, you know, we're still working on programs. If we have to do them virtually, that's what we're going to do. Some people, those are, you know, working well for a lot of people, because a lot of people can participate, even if they're out of town, they can still get on Zoom. But we will have our health fair, the North County Health and Wellness Fair will be held in August, the second Thursday. The city of Oceanside has given us approval to run that event. We will be, the booth spaces will be spaced out 6 feet apart for social distancing. Folks will have to wear masks for obvious reasons, and we'll have some sanitizing stations. So we're very excited about having an actual live event. It will be held concurrently with the farmers market. It's a great, just a great event to be able to offer our chamber members and to offer the public. So we are looking forward to that event in August.
Excellent. Thank you, Christy. Scott, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I think Christy covered it all. Let me turn my video back on here. No, I just want to again just thank the Colonel. We appreciate the partnership over the last couple of years. We look forward to the introduction to our new representative. But we're glad you're staying in the area, and we'll look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Excellent, sir.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks again, Colonel. Emerald, anything to add on your end with the chamber?
I would just add that we are hosting a smaller scale in-person event. So it's our Plates for 8 series. It's coming back in person, and we're just excited to be able to host that tomorrow. So we do have a full group. So, you know, we're really excited for that. And then, you know, the other big project our chamber's working on right now is our Best of Oceanside City map. So if you guys are interested in just getting a little bit more promotions right now, it does come out next month. We are still selling some spaces for that. So that's what our team's working on right now.
Excellent. Thank you, Emerald. Okay, guys, I'm going to go around and open it up to everybody. Gentlemen, I'm sorry, I am old-fashioned, so I'm going to go ladies first on this one. And I'm going to work with the grid that I have in front of me. So if any ladies would like to give an update, just raise your hand real quick and I'll call on you. Looks like Wendy, you're up first.
Thank you. I am Wendy. I'm the director of the newly opened center in Oceanside for Freedom Dogs. And I've met some of you this way, and I am still relatively new to the organization. And the thing that I find so difficult when I answer the phone are the amount of veterans that are asking for dogs and asking how they will go about getting dogs that will support them in their healing from PTSD and TBI. We work with active military with Camp Pendleton. So I'm putting out to all of you the fact that I need to be a better resource. We have to be a better resource to help people, veterans in particular, get the service they need to not only acquire dogs, because we're not in a position to help them in that way, but also to help our partners for life who are now veterans and are around the country. They're not quite sure how to go about getting the financial support that they need for the dog teams. And we are 100% supporting them. We could use the help so we can serve more people currently in our partners program. So that's the Partner for Life program. I need any kind of advice to get to the Veterans Administration for me to be able to be a better resource for our guys and for people who call me. And the other is we need volunteer trainers for dogs. It's an unbelievable experience. It strikes me to call Maggie. The thing is, it's a big commitment of time. You may end up having to take a dog home with you, but the bottom line is that these are extraordinary animals and extraordinary trainers, and they're 100% volunteer core. So we need the help in that regard too. So I'm putting that out to you. I thank you. I'm still learning, and I'm so grateful for this forum. Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy. Any other young ladies would like to give us an update?
What is Wendy's phone number and contact information, if I may ask before she stops?
Thank you. I'll put that back in. I started to, and then I got sidetracked, I think. I'll put it in the chat box right now. Thanks so much, Kathy. Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy. All right, I am not seeing any hands. Anybody else, any ladies that are not on video, just go ahead and speak up if you have any updates. All right, we will turn it over to the gentleman. Let's go by hands. I'll work off the grid again. Anybody have an update? All right, Joe, you're up first.
Yeah, well, the Veteran Writers Group is not only staying active, we're meeting every week now, and by Zoom. And so the interest has grown not only in quantity, but by area, because we've taken on active interest from Arizona. And then there's a group out of the Coronado Library, and they're looking now at not only embracing the Veteran Writers Group of San Diego, but also perhaps developing their own chapter there. So, but anyway, we've got at 11 o'clock on Saturday, and it's each week, and from 11 until 2, the veteran writers meet up and on Zoom, and we have professional help writers, editors, people that can, if somebody's interested in getting into writing some of their perhaps military memorabilia or whatever comes to their mind. And so I encourage people to look at this as an opportunity for those who are serious about it or those who are just have the idea kicking around in their head. But also the women writers, we've got a very active group of women veteran writers who are meeting and sharing their experiences as well. And then in November, while we'll be doing our annual Fallbrook Library, we have they've given over their chance for veterans and veteran writers to have their writers read with Fallbrook. So that's, again, encourage anybody that has any interest in even just observing the group, get on Zoom this Saturday at 11.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you very much for that update. James, I'm going to be right with you. Patricia would like to do a quick intro real quick.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. My name is Patricia King. I'm with Blue Shield of California. I contacted Emerald earlier this week, and she graciously invited me, so thank you for everyone's time. And this is such a warm, fun, interesting meeting. I have been with Blue Shield California for about 2 months now, and I'm their community engagement manager supporting our Promise Medi-Cal program for low-income families and individuals. I will be working primarily in the North County, North Coastal, and East County of San Diego. So I'm very interested in seeing how I can partner with different CBOs and chambers throughout those regions. I'm really excited. We've got a lot of really great opportunities, sponsorship, funding, availabilities. We just hosted in partnership with the San Diego Food Bank, a food drive up in Oceanside at Shiloh Church. That was my first big project a month in. And I'm just really excited to see what we can do for your community, what your gaps and needs are. And I'll leave my contact information in the chat feature. But if anyone wants to reach out, I just want to thank you very much. And I may be a future member. Hopefully you'll be seeing me more. But if not, I'm definitely an ally and can be reachable by contact in the chat feature.
Excellent, Patricia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Mr. James Pruitt. Oh, got you muted there, sir. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself. There we go.
Am I unmuted now?
You're good to go.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Colonel, sir. I'm a man with two hats. I am presently the Commandant of the Camp Pendleton Detachment for the Marine Corps League, and I'm also the project manager for the Military Appreciation Resource Magazine for Camp Pendleton. Here is the present copy. I was at the Marine Corps Expo in February on Camp Pendleton, and I was recruited to take over this magazine. We did not publish in April due to the coronavirus, but we did publish July 1st. This magazine was mailed to all the base housing and distributed around the base. I am presently working with MCCS to get it distributed in the exchanges and the Marine marts. But I've been dealing with them since February and I've not made much progress. Hopefully I'll be able to get farther down the road. Our next issue is in October. This issue, I was able to put articles in from the Historical Society, the Marine Spouse Association, the Young Marines, the Vance Center, and let's see, I did put an ad in it for the Operation Appreciation for August, but I since hear that that's been canceled. I was trying to contact the USO and the Blue Star family to get an article from them to put in there. As project manager, my mission is to make this magazine Camp Pendleton friendly, and instead of an ad magazine, to turn it into a news magazine. So it's been a challenge. I enjoy it. I miss doing, for the Marine Corps League, I miss doing the Marine of the Quarter and the Marine of the Year awards. We give each one of those Marines a certificate and a challenge coin. The last award ceremony I did, Sergeant Major Meza was still in the Marine Corps. Now he's retired and got a beard. But, I look forward. I, can say once a Marine, always a Marine. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I've lived here in Oceanside for quite some time. So anyway, I left my contact information on the chat. Feel free to get a hold of me. I'm happy to do whatever I can. Thank you all.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service. Going down the line here, anybody else have an update for us?
Joshua, can you hear me?
Show a hand here. Is that you, Rudy?
Yes.
Okay, Rudy.
You got me in the camera.
We are good to go, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, bye. I'm for the other shoe. You didn't do this time what you always did, that we can introduce ourselves. And so I break in this way because I want to say goodbye, especially to Colonel Phil Untitled, because I admire him very much as a high officer.
Good morning, everyone. I am an agency development manager with Colonial Life, and I am prior service military. I've served 9 years in the Marine Corps. And thank you, Colonel, for your service as well. My company, Colonial, we actually have been doing military career fairs out in town before COVID shut everything down. I have been trying to make a connection on base so that I could, so that my company can be more accommodating to military, the active duty members and their spouses, as well as their families, to help them find careers and opportunities for advancement with Colonial. We actually even help them transition to different states if they're with the company, because we're all over the United States. We help them find a location that's close to them to where they can continue with their career with our company. We help them get accommodated in their neighborhoods as well as in their communities. So that is something that I've been trying to do, and I'm looking forward to making a lot of connections with the military from this point on. So I just wanted to share that information with you.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. And thank you for your service as well. Okay, we're coming down to the wire here. Does anybody else have any updates they'd like to share with us? If I'm missing somebody, go ahead and speak up because I'm not seeing any hands. Christy, is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
Just that we hope to see everyone, via Zoom, likely at our next military affairs meeting, which will be held in September. We hope that everyone is doing well, and we wish the best for you and hope to see you again one day at the chamber when we resume live.
Excellent. Yeah, a quick shout out to Emerald. She's been kind of pulling the strings behind the curtain here for us. I do appreciate that very much, ma'am. Thank you to Christy and Scott for organizing and putting this on. Christy's always working hard, and she puts me up front to do the most talking, but she's actually the woman behind the scene there, making it happen. Thank you to Scott for you know, just doing a great job at the chamber in general and making sure that this meeting continues. I'm really excited to see so many people show up every meeting, even though we're having to do it over Zoom. This is just a great forum. So last but not least, once again, Colonel, thank you so much. We're going to miss you. Look forward to meeting the next gentleman coming in, but you've definitely made an impact on us, sir. So thank you very much. I keep looking up to the right-hand corner because that's where you are on my screen. So I look forward to seeing you at the board meeting. But once again, thank you, and I hope to run into you out in the community. With that being said, unless anybody has anything else, we are at 8:54. So we will cut this meeting off for the day, and we will look forward to seeing you guys in a couple months.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Josh.